All right, and we're live. uh,
Yay.
what's up, 9 viewers? Oh, now it's 7 viewers. Two people left
Wow.
as soon as we went live. Appreciate
Oh
it.
Same.
no, that's unfortunate.
Oh, hi,
I
Alex.
frequently,
Alex is in the chat. Nice.
I frequently have the
Hey,
same reaction whenever Turin talks. So
Oh,
no
wow.
blame, no blame.
Wow.
I know how it is.
If anyone was here for the stream last time, we had Gio, but today we have Krishna. Uh, anyone
hi.
back from the Presso days would know Krishna as well, I'm sure. Uh, and so basically, we have him here as well because today we plan on talking about movies. Our We put together a grid just like last time, talking about our uh, top favorite movies of all time. Um, Hello, Izzy. Hello, Parker and Ed. First time viewer. Nice to have you. I hope we don't disappoint. We probably will.
Bruh. It's like 1 minute into the stream. It's like, yeah, it's like we won't be disappointed if you leave or anything. That's you're killing the vibe here, man. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I try. Oh, thanks for the follow, Parker and Ed. Awesome.
Hey, it works.
Thank you.
It works. Yes, uh, I had a coworker of mine, Kimmy, help me out set up Streamlabs, so this is the first time I'm using it, and it works.
Oh,
It's amazing.
if Kimmy's in the chat, hello.
Yes, shout out Kimmy, or community Napbot in other communities as she's known.
Hey, maybe I should sub to us. I want to see that happen again.
Are you not following us, Tim?
Actually, wait, I might be. You don't
Tim?
know. I mean,
Come on.
Dare you?
oh man. Hey, Krishna has no right to judge me. Okay, we had to tell him like 6 times to follow our Instagram page.
At least he's following our Twitch page, Tim.
I am. Yeah, I followed your Twitch page. I made an account myself.
Man, I'm being persecuted here. Jeez.
Hell yeah, you are. Well deserved too.
Whoa.
well, well, are you? Did we confirm it?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
I
good.
am.
Good.
Yeah, glad we got that out of the way.
Anyway, so today like I said, we're gonna talk about our top favorite movies. Each of us have prepared a grid to showcase what we think is our personal top favorite movies. Now, these are probably not necessarily accurate representable, as opinions keep changing, as these are forms of art that are subjective. But this is what we think right now, and yeah, I guess today we're gonna talk about it. I have a wheel prepared to decide who's gonna go first, and here's
I hope
that
it's not
wheel. Well, Tim, that's the point of the wheel, right?
Oh
So,
boy.
so I'm gonna start spinning the wheel, and
Ladies and gentlemen, you can clearly see our massive budget going to work here.
oh yeah, they are.
But yeah, there it is. I can see it.
All right, and spin.
Up.
And the first one going is Krishna.
No! Oh man.
Hey,
Okay.
it's not
Well,
me.
I guess since I'm the guest, I probably should go first. So yeah, I don't
Yes.
mind it.
Oh yeah, true.
That is true.
Okay, Tim,
So-
you ready?
Hold
You
on.
ready?
Hold on. Let me get it up. Where the hell did the? Okay, here it is. So, where's the stream? So anyway, so here is the list that Krishna has prepared to show us what his top 9 favorite movies of all time are. There we go. Oh, thank you, Motor Junkie, for following. I got another follower today. That's 2 more than last time. All right, so here's Krishna's picks. Krishna, do you want to go through the list yourself?
Oh, yeah. Okay, where do I start? Okay, before I start, I should just say that these aren't necessarily like the best films of all time. I tried to sort of avoid the top 10, top 100 lists, people would pull from, and just focus on what I personally watch Um, Either these films have changed me in a way, affected me emotionally, or given me a good dose of entertainment every time I watch them. So, first, I would like to start with Parasite. It's a Korean film by the great director Bong Joon-ho. He's done other films like Snowpiercer, if you've seen that one. Um, so yeah, Parasite is really about a rich family and a poor family living in South Korea, and an incident that gets them into conflict. Sort of. I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but
Well,
yeah. Have you guys seen Parasite?
just before we go into each film, I just want to go over just your whole list. I see you have 3 Bollywood movies.
Of course, yeah.
I see you have
Yes.
Parasite, Inception, The Social Network, Truman Show, Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Honestly, not
Yeah.
surprised.
Okay. Yeah. Let me
And-
just go over all 9 of them quickly, and then we'll get into it.
Yeah.
So Inception. If anyone asks me what my number 1 film is, I'll probably say Inception.
Okay.
Yeah. It's everything at once. It's entertaining. It's cerebral. And fantastic action, great vision, good concept. The Social Network, one of David Fincher's best films. You can just put it on in the background, or watch it any number of times, as I do. Scarface, I'd like to mention because it's one of the great gangster movies that's often ignored by people.
Really?
When they're talking about the best films of all time. I mean, it's mentioned, but people
okay.
mention The Godfather more often than Scarface.
Yeah, I reckon so.
I think,
Fair.
yeah, but the Scarface is just way more entertaining in my opinion. Yeah, watch it.
I'm going to say this. You have some interesting picks, and I remember this goes back to the conversation we were having before, where I was sort of saying Picture and you, it's really difficult to pick a list of just 9 really really good movies because there's so many. And some of the stuff on your list I think is actually really really good, but I didn't really. There's not actually a lot of overlap I think between your list and mine.
Was this what you were expecting? Because you said before,
No.
I know what movies you're gonna pick.
That's what I want to
No, actually it's not.
That's what I want to tell something
right?
This is not.
I'm glad it surprised you.
Yeah, this is not what I was fully expecting. I did expect Man of Steel being on there, just saying. Fully expected that.
Of course. Yeah,
and I guess Inception, but the rest I did not think you would pick. Parasite was a maybe for me, but if you had picked it or not. But yeah, this is a list I did not expect from you.
Yeah, cool. So Inception, number 1 movie. It's the movie that got me into movies. Inception. Man of Steel got me into comic book movies, especially. So that's why those 2 films are on there.
Okay.
And you'll see a lot of these. I like a lot of social commentary. I like some social commentary in my films too, which is a big reason why I watch them. So I have things like the Parasite, the Truman Show. Those 2 are pretty good in that respect. And also 3 Idiots, if you've seen that. That's a huge movie. Everyone, a lot of people around the world have seen this movie. And we'll get into it later. And so Dawn is a gangster film that's hugely entertaining. I watch it I don't know how many times I watch it, 25 times. And Sholay is one of the all-time great legacy Bollywood films of all time. It's basically a Western, but set in India. So it has a lot of action, a lot of character.
It is a true Bollywood classic.
It is, yeah.
I think it's interesting you guys actually pick stuff from Bollywood. I guess it's interesting because I usually have stuff. I don't have anything from, I don't know, we would call my culture, I guess. Mine are only Hollywood stuff. But no, it's interesting that you guys pick Indian movies.
Yeah, I mean, I've been outside my country for during my formative years and a large part of my life, but these are the movies that I remembered from when I watched them, when I was young or older.
Okay.
So yeah, and I'm from India, so I gotta highlight my country's movies, don't I? Yeah,
Fair
represent.
enough. Yes, represent. I mean, I would say
Anyway,
as a fellow Indian myself, I would say the picks you've made for the Bollywood films are pretty solid. Three Idiots is definitely one of the few Bollywood movies I do enjoy.
yeah, and by the way, Parker and Ed, that's what you should watch first,
But Three Idiots?
because you asked. Yeah, yeah. Parker and Ed asks which of
Well,
these Bollywood movies do you recommend.
I would
So I'm just
say
replying.
if you're really into heist films and how smart they are, Dawn is a really good one.
Yeah,
Or yeah, if you want to
yeah,
go, Three Idiots is more about three guys in college, Indian college, and they get into some shenanigans, but it also gets really deep and emotional at times. It can
yeah,
surprise you. Uh,
yeah. It's a critique about like the Indian education system and the attitudes around it.
I guess that kind
Because
of ties
there's the
into what you were
impression that
saying about sorry, social commentary, because I see quite a lot of that going through some of your picks.
yeah,
yeah, yeah, of course, yeah,
yeah. Truman,
yeah,
Social Network, Parasite, Three Idiots. They're all social commentary, basically.
yeah. The Truman Show I love because I mean Jim
I
Carrey's
wish I mentioned
acting
it,
is
to be
just
honest.
phenomenal. What?
I wish I mentioned it because I was just sort of thinking, like, when you brought it up, when the image was brought up just now, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But
Oh,
then
the
it's
Truman
actually
Show,
really,
right?
really good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I'd
yeah,
forgotten about it too, but it's a great pick to have up there. I agree. Um, yeah, I like a lot of your picks here, but out of these, you said Inception was your top favorite. Is there a reason why you think it trumps all of these films?
um, okay, so I watch it a lot. Like
Mm,
any movie I want to watch, I can just go back to this and put it on.
yeah.
I think out of all these films, I've watched Inception the most number of times, and it's like I said, it's the movie that got me into movies, and I just like its labyrinthic. What's the word? Um, it's like the dream within a dream concept.
Inception.
Um,
I think
yeah,
that is what it's
Inception.
called.
Yeah, that's what it's called, right? Um, I read a Screen Rant review. I think there's a theory that this film is about making movies. You know how Cobb is sort of the director, and Eames is the actor, and so I love that meta commentary in it. That's
Mm.
one of the reasons
I'm gonna say this right
that
now.
this stands out
Christopher Nolan, he
as
always
number one.
confuses me.
I
Because
mean,
I
yeah,
remember, like, obviously it's not on your list, but I remember another one of his films I went to watch, which was Interstellar, and
Uh-huh.
I'm ashamed to admit that it took me like at least 3 times to watch that. I had to watch that movie before I understood what was going on. I couldn't like appreciate the full picture until I'd seen it like multiple times.
it's okay, Tim.
Yeah,
There are people out there who have to watch it a lot more times to understand it. Me being one of
I
them.
don't know. Did you guys have the same sort of experience?
Yeah, I did have to like I watched it about 2 or 3 times to get the third part in it especially is quite complicated. First, there's like the physics of it, the time dilation aspect.
Yeah.
If you're near a black hole, time goes slower, and people on Earth age faster than you. So that's a bit hard to wrap around. But the real doozy is when Chris Nolan
Spoilers.
brings about his own 4D interpretation of what's inside the black hole and
Mm,
connects it sort of emotionally to Cooper's journey and his relationship with his daughter. So yeah, that part was just trippy
yeah.
as hell, man. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely one of his trippy films, just like another film I think all of us have watched, which was Memento.
yeah. Memento was okay. Memento was.
I liked it a lot.
I mean,
I liked
I enjoyed
how
Memento.
the ending was really cool for me. I won't say
yeah,
anything for anyone who hasn't watched it because the ending is insane. I just want to say it's really well done. Christopher Nolan seems to have everything thought out, so which is impressive. Like,
Because you know the reason why we've all seen Memento is because they showed it to us on our school trip.
yeah,
I don't know if
TMK.
there's any BPS people in the chat, but I
Anyone
don't know
who
if you guys
did
remember that. But
Anyone who
yeah,
did international baccalaureate in the chat, there's a theory of knowledge class we had, which is basically criticizing
Yeah.
philosophy.
No, no, it's not about that. It's TOK, Theory of Knowledge, was about epistemology, which means how do you know what you know?
Yeah,
And so they showed this film to illustrate the role of memory
yeah, and it was a good,
in experience. Yeah,
I guess, case study or analysis for us to go through,
yeah,
and a great film.
yeah,
Ah, see,
yeah,
Alex remembers. See, I
Yeah,
told you I knew someone to remember.
yeah. She was there, right? Yeah,
Tenet was a
I
bit
remember.
confusing for you, Motor Junkie.
I've
Tenet,
not seen Tenet actually.
wow, wow, it's okay.
Yeah, Tenet was confusing for everyone, including me.
Yeah, me and Krishna had a
My
whole
gosh.
discussion about Tenet, and we still don't quite understand how it all works. But we think
I
we
mean, I
have an
remember
idea.
I was discussing with Tarun because I haven't actually seen it yet. Because obviously the cinemas around me have been shut because of the virus. But
Mm.
yeah, I was asking him like, should I go see it once like everything's open again? He's like, nah, don't bother.
Yeah, I did say don't bother only because it's just like I feel like it's not as well. I don't know what it is. It just didn't deliver as well as his other films, but definitely watch it. I guess on your own at home because then you have the option to go back and watch again right away.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I can see that.
cinema is probably not worth it.
yeah.
Not worth
Here's
the
what I
money.
think. Chris Nolan, I mean, he intended this his latest film Tenet to be sort of a blockbuster cinema movie, but I don't think it. I don't think visually it utilized that um, big screen experience. It didn't have too many like how do you say
I'll just say the sound mixing.
expansive.
The sound mixing
Yeah,
was horrible.
yeah. I mean, if you compare it to something like Dunkirk, you remember it had those aerial fight scenes that was so cool
Oh, they
that
did
you
that
had to
so
watch
Oh
it.
well.
yeah.
They did that so
You
well.
had to watch it in IMAX,
Yeah,
Dunkirk. But Tenet is less so. It's just
especially when
there
they
were
screwed up the whole sound. It's just annoying. You can't hear
I
the
mean,
people talking.
I'm gonna put this to you guys. I think Dunkirk is more like it's less of a like an emotional experience. It's more like a physical experience. If
It
you go for
is.
like the
yeah,
sensations,
Mm.
you know, the sound and the visuals. That's kind of what you go for that movie for.
Okay, okay,
I mean,
okay,
there's a bit
yeah.
of a story there, but it's like mainly that's what it is. I
okay,
think.
okay. I don't want us to go talking about Christopher Nolan for the rest of the podcast, as he has a lot of great films. We should talk
Yeah. That's
about
why.
some of your other
Yeah.
picks
Okay.
on here. I think I was actually, I was kind of surprised you had The Social Network on here.
Really, why?
Well, I guess I don't know if I'm surprised that you picked it, but for me personally, I didn't think it was such a great film. But
Really?
I want to see your perspective.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to see. No, it was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but I don't know if it was that good. So I want to see.
I
Why
think
did
you're
I
in the
pick The
minority
Social
here,
Network?
man.
I want your perspective on this, Krishna. What is it about Social Network that gets you?
It's just okay. So the first thing that stands out to me about it, it's just technically it's a very well-made movie, like all of David Fincher's movies. I don't know if you watched Seven and Zodiac, he has this fluid, linear camera movements that I love so much. So technically,
I
it's
forgot
just
about
really
Seven.
proficient. Um, sorry.
Sorry, I said I forgot about Seven as well.
Oh yeah. That's a good one. Where's the box?
What's in the box?
That was epic, man. Anyway, yeah. So, and The Social Network is one that has huge repeat value, and I think Tim would agree with me on this.
You know what? I'm like the thing that gets me about that movie is I just love the dialogue. It is like
Yeah, Aaron
incredible in
Sorkin.
that
Right?
movie. It's just really like exactly. You know, it's just like really really snappy. I love it.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's weird, like the screenplay, because it's fast and snappy, and sort of the dialogue is the way they speak is relatable, but every character seems too smart to exist in real life.
Yeah, Parker and Ed. Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
I do know
maybe I'm
about.
wrong because they're all from Harvard
Yeah, Parker
or
and Ed.
Stanford or wherever. So
Parker and Ed. Yeah, I am aware of the CGI that he uses in his movies. It's a lot, but it's hidden, which is really impressive. You know what they say?
yeah, he managed to disguise it.
The best
Very effectively.
CGI is the CGI you don't notice, and he does that really well. He directs that really well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you have a pretty solid uh pick here for sure.
Have you guys seen Scarface though?
I have not.
Yes,
Like,
I have seen.
oh, shame.
I hear
Yeah,
so
you
much
should.
about it, but I've never got into it. I probably should, but I don't know if I ever will.
Yeah, I think
Krishna,
that's
maybe
probably.
you know about this, but I remember hearing somewhere. I think it's an Oliver Stone movie, isn't it? So
Hmm.
I think that's who directed. I remember hearing from somewhere. Now I don't know if this is true, but apparently he wrote the screenplay when he was actually addicted to cocaine. So
Really?
What,
I didn't know that.
Scarface?
yeah, apparently I think.
Okay.
Wow.
Don't take his word
That's
for it.
interesting.
He only thinks.
Yeah, I think that's what I've heard, but don't know if it's true.
No. Wait, you said Oliver Stone was the director? It's actually
I think
Brian De Palma.
Oh, sorry. I think
Yeah,
maybe I'm confusing
yeah,
with a different movie. But yeah,
yeah. Brian De Palma directed Scarface and the Mission Impossible movie, the first one, I think. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Fact checking. Anyway,
yeah. Well,
so I like that because of Al Pacino's acting.
Mm.
I think his acting is on par with
sorry,
Godfather.
my
and
bad. He
Godfather
wrote
2.
the movie. He wrote the movie. I just double checked.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He wrote
Got
it while high. Got it.
Yeah. And then the music as well. I'm a big fan of electronic music. If you know, I'm a huge Daft Punk fan, and those guys were inspired by a composer called Giorgio Moroder. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but yeah, he composed the score in this film, and it's not like your typical gangster score. It's very it's operatic, but at the same time, it gives you a modern feel.
You mentioned Daft Punk. Actually, I was interested to see just now that you don't actually have Tron Legacy on your list, which
Yeah.
I know is
I
one
was
of
a-
your favorites.
Oh yeah,
I was about to say it too. I'm surprised you don't have Tron
that would be
Legacy.
my honorable mention.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
No, you can have
yeah,
an
that
honorable
movie is also
mention.
good.
You can have an honorable
Yeah.
mention. Like, that can be it.
I can
if
have
you-
hundreds of honorable mentions. Like, it was so hard to pick.
Yeah,
Okay,
but if you
so-
had to give an honorable mention, which one would it be though? Would it be Tron?
Oh my gosh, don't that puts pressure on me because it's like my 10th favorite movie. Yeah, I'll just go with Legacy for now. Why not?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember how obsessed you were
The
with
score
Tron
and the
Legacy.
visuals. Yeah.
It has very clean
And
visuals.
Yeah, and I like the story. I don't know why other people did. It was quite nice, heartfelt.
I think it's because
Son trying to find his father.
I think it's because see, I wasn't much into the Tron fandom, but I believe some people were just disappointed that the Tron character wasn't front and center or really much to be seen in the movie.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because I know these days Tron is actually like a Tron Legacy and Tron. I think it's like they're both cult films now. Because back when they were released, they weren't super popular with critics. I know.
Is Tron
But now,
Legacy
there's
considered
like
a cult film? I know Tron.
Yeah, I
is.
think it is. There's like a small
is, yeah.
but like very distinct fan following now. And I hear they're making a sequel. Finally.
Yeah, they've been making it for the
Yeah.
past 10 years.
Yeah,
I think it's supposed to have Jared Leto.
Haven't they been
Like-
saying that for 10 years, like Krishna said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's called Tron Ascension. That's the latest title they give it. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I want to see your guys what grids you have.
I mean, first of all, before we move on, I
Right.
have to say, like, okay, all good picks. The only thing that stands out is Man of Steel. I don't get that.
You don't get it?
Yeah, okay. Some background. When Man of Steel came out, I think Tim and I were pretty disappointed by it and weren't all that what's the word? We weren't all that into it. And
Yeah.
but Krishna on the other hand, he loved it. And we didn't know why, or we couldn't figure it out why. And we still can't.
We still can't. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I still
Man of
love
Steel.
it. That
but
film is good.
for
and I will go to my grave with that.
yeah, for everyone else here, why would you still hold Man of Steel up so high as one of your favorite movies?
It's the movie that got me into comic book movies. Like to see Superman with this power level depicted in that way for the first time on screen was just exhilarating. I loved
I
it.
honestly,
Um,
I really thought you'd put Justice League Snyder Cut above Man of Steel. I'm surprised you didn't put that here.
yeah, that's a good movie, and yes, everyone on here listening should go check it out, and also donate to Zack Snyder's daughter's Suicide Prevention Foundation. But anyway, yeah, I put Man of Steel in it because that's really the movie that started it for me, my journey into the comic book movie world.
Mm. But
And you know, it made Superman cool for me, honestly. Like
okay,
I didn't care about Superman before this, and then I was like, oh yeah, this guy,
okay.
he's better than Batman
So,
any day.
so this was the film that got you into comic book movies. But would you
Yep.
say there was another
I can
DC film?
understand why I can understand why people wouldn't be into it because it's just like dark and dour. And, you know, the
Well,
Oh no,
ending
but I
doesn't.
appreciate the personal connection you have with it. I can see
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
even if I don't think the
that's
movie's that good, but I can see it.
yeah. I mean, there's so many good things about this movie. I just can't forget. And you know, I guess there are not so good things as well, but I don't really remember them. I just remember the good parts. So you know,
Would you
like
have put the
the
Snyder? Would
Krypton.
you have put the Snyder Cut down if we hadn't told you? Like we had a. For those of you guys who don't know, we had a little rule before we came up with these lists, which was that we're only allowed one per franchise, one per cinematic universe. So I'm just curious if
Yeah,
that stopped you
actually,
from
no,
putting
no,
Justice
no.
League
I
down.
wouldn't have. No, no. I'm not that kind. I'm not a total fanboy or anything. I used to be when this movie came out, but now I'm not.
Okay.
So, I mean, there are other great films, as you can see. Uh, but yeah, I mean, when the Snyder Cut came out, I felt like I enjoyed it a lot, but it was like too little, too late for me, you know, because I was burned by Justice League 2017, the Whedon version. So that
We don't
really
talk about
dampened
that.
my enthusiasm for the DC universe. Yeah. So
Okay. But would you
yeah,
say the Snyder Cut got you excited again, or the fact that they're never gonna make it canon is kind of a disappointing fact?
yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, I
Yeah.
loved it. I loved watching it, and I'll watch it again. But then the fact that uh, you know Warner Brothers isn't gonna acknowledge this movie and just not you know uh, build on the storylines and the characters that this movie has put into play
Right.
is just a bummer to me. So
It's
I'm
okay.
just
It's
yeah,
canon in your heart,
it's a
Krishna.
yeah
It's canon in our hearts. The movie we wanted, the
yeah
movie Warner Bros. Thought we would hate? No, they didn't really think we would hate it. It's more like more for time, right? Uh, yeah. Well, solid picks. I'm surprised.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, good picks, good picks. Apart from Man of Steel,
thank you.
which jury's still out, but you know.
Uh, okay. Well, so guys, that was Krishna's picks of his top 9 favorite
In the middle to it.
movies of all time. Obviously, personal favorites. These aren't like
Yeah,
uh, I mean, all of us I
the
think
list
went
can
that route.
change,
The list
you
can
know, but
change, and obviously, I think as I already mentioned before, these are personal picks, not something we're gonna
yeah.
think what everyone else liked. All right, so let's move on. We're gonna see who's gonna go up next. Will it be Tim?
Oh boy.
Will it be me? And
I don't know if I want to go last or if I want to go.
oh,
I'm kind of mixed.
oh!
Oh, that was close. All right, all right.
All right, hold on. So I'm gonna transition over to Tim's real soon. Uh, and here are Tim picks. All right then. Yes, first thing we can see, you both had The Social Network on there.
You see, this is why I was like,
Nice.
I was trying to hold back a little bit because I knew like it was on my list. I didn't want to like bring it up like too early. Talking about Krishna. Yeah. No, there's a bunch of stuff on there. So Life of Pi, Ford v Ferrari, Gravity, The Grand Budapest Hotel, The Social Network, Blade Runner 2049, Mad Max, Fury Road, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, and Apocalypse Now. Some of my
I knew you would have Star Wars. I knew it.
I also knew
I was
that.
not which one I was gonna go for. Originally, I was tied between obviously the first one and Empire, because the first one like started it all. I was like, okay, but that one kind of deserves it as well. But then I think Empire it just sort of edges it out. I think. But yeah.
Ford v Ferrari is called Le Mans 66 in the Netherlands.
Yeah, it's the alternate title.
Oh, really? Okay.
I really enjoyed that as well. And The Grand Budapest Hotel is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's fantastic, isn't it? I love that movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but which one? I think it's The Grand Budapest Hotel.
I have.
Yeah.
I have heard a lot about it, but I haven't seen it yet myself.
Oh man, it's just so stylish and it's hilarious. You need to watch it. It's honestly like.
Yeah, I saw it once. I don't really remember it. It was a couple of years ago.
I just love it. It has this wicked sense of humor that runs through the whole movie, and it has a great cast of characters, and every moment is just so. It just has this like feeling to it. I think a lot of films don't sort of capture that sort of sense of identity, but this one gets it really strongly. It's like every scene has this own sort of visual identity, if you like. And it's,
I remember the framing, like the first one. The first scene is like full screen, and then progressively it gets to a small 1:1 almost aspect ratio screen with like a more vintage aesthetic, right?
Yeah, but I think it's definitely one of my favorites, just because especially because of the cast as well, because they have like a whole load of like A-list actors you wouldn't even expect like would show up in this movie, like Jeff Goldblum. He's in it, and it's just
really. I forgot.
Yes, he is. He plays. I can't remember what they call it, the executor of the old lady's estate. So he's in it. Yeah.
I see.
So, so fun movie. I haven't watched it in a while actually.
Comments?
I'm planning to go back to it.
Well, I'm actually kind of surprised you have Ford v Ferrari and Mad Max on there. I don't know.
I'm not surprised. I was considering putting Mad Max on my list.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised Tim has it on there. I didn't think you were such a fan of those two
Why
films.
are you surprised, Turin?
Well, actually, I take back the Mad Max thing. I do remember you loved that movie when it came to theaters. Ford v Ferrari, I felt like you weren't as big of a fan of. That's why I'm a little surprised about that.
I think.
I remember you mentioning Ford v Ferrari a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and you guys are free to disagree with me, like whether in chat or on YouTube. But I think there's I see sort of connections between Ford v Ferrari and The Social Network, just in sort of terms of style. I think there are sort of themes that they're in both. I think what I enjoyed about Ford v Ferrari was that it was a story about, as I say, it's about creatives taking on business people. They have people with vision.
Oh yeah,
they're really passionate about what they do, and they're just going to go as far as possible. Due to that, I think if you think about it, you can sort of see that in The Social Network as well. So yeah, what I found good about Ford v Ferrari, or Le Mans 66, as I see you guys calling it in the chat, is that it's actually, because I'm not a huge fan of cars or anything like that. I'm not like a car guy. Because you know how some people just love cars, they're like really, really into cars, but I'm not like that. But then this, like the way they did Ford v Ferrari, I got so invested in their like struggle against Ferrari, and it was just so amazing to me. And obviously, you have Matt Damon and Christian Bale, and they just play off each other so well. Yeah, that's why that's on my list.
I see.
Yeah, I think I was really enjoying it, and I just felt like it ended too quickly. But again, it is a true story. There's not much you can really change about that. And yeah, I think Parker in it has his own perspective on it, which is was it Ford defeating Ferrari? It seemed like a little too much like America Wins movie. Tim, do you have any thoughts on that?
Like
Yeah, I can
the
see that. I can
American
see why.
accents,
Yeah.
some right
Yeah, I think there's definitely
sentiment.
veins of that in there.
Mm.
I think it is in a sense about like it is about like men's egos.
I believe.
At least in part, I think.
Yeah,
But
not.
yeah,
Yeah, I believe since some Americans are known to be a little patriotic, it could come off that way. So I can definitely see why someone would take that perspective away from that film. Um, and yeah,
you know what I love? I just love like there's a scene from that movie that just sticks out in my head, which is like really near the end, and it's just that moment after obviously Matt Damon's character has gone to visit Ken Miles's family. He gets into his car, and he's sort of getting a little emotional about the exchange he just had, and you can just see he's obviously like he starts the car, and he just for like a little moment he just sits there and sort of lets the engine sound. He just listens to it.
Yeah.
He just lets it like soothe him just for a little bit. And then he sort of pulls himself together. He gobbles his toes and he drives off into the sunset. And it's just like, wow, just that little moment just made that film for me. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
No.
You know what this film reminds me of? Another good racing film. It's called Rush with Chris Hemsworth and Daniel Brühl.
Yeah.
Amazing film.
It is. And yeah, Ford
That
v
one.
Ferrari. I think when I was watching Ford v Ferrari, I had some. It did remind me of Rush also, only because it was also cars and racing.
Yeah.
But
They have a
obviously,
different
that film,
dynamic.
that film is good in a whole different way, I think. But also, I do want to talk about Tim Gravity. I don't think I've ever talked
great
to.
choice. Great choice.
Well, first of all, I've never seen it, but
Have you never
You've never seen
What?
Gravity?
well,
Whoa.
hold on. Neither of you guys has ever talked to me about Gravity, so I'm surprised in the first place that you guys have seen it at all. I didn't even know you guys watched it.
Gravity
Third. After the stream ends, you need to watch Gravity first, and then Scarface.
Okay, look.
And then the Grand Budapest Hotel. I will add that.
I have seen something before.
Yeah, that's third.
I've seen something before that's been, I guess, in a way of a reference to Gravity. Do you guys know the show Love, Death, and Robots?
No, haven't seen.
Oh my god. Alright. You guys are gonna grill me about Gravity, but you guys haven't seen Love, Death, and Robots?
I mean, I'm gonna say this about Gravity. I think, obviously, when I was coming up with this list, I was thinking about different movies I could put on there, and I noticed I have a lot of science fiction.
To be fair to Tim, Gravity is an Oscar-winning film that you should have heard of and watched.
I mean, we'll talk about the Oscars and what they mean later on, but anyways, yeah, I was thinking the original thing that I was thinking about when I was coming up with this list. One of the films that came up was James Cameron's Avatar. Now, I eventually chose not to put that on my list, and I got rid of it pretty quickly. Because what I realized about that movie was that it's the effects were what impressed me the most.
It was only good because
not so much the character. Yeah,
it was only good because it was a revolutionary in the VFX industry, but
the 3D especially.
And it was the first 3D film, I believe. That's why it was really good and really hyped. As a film itself, it was fine.
Yeah. So what I feel about Gravity is that Gravity has the great effects. Truman, I think you really missed out by not seeing it in IMAX, but obviously you can't now. But yeah. Anyways, Gravity had the effects, but it also had like a really good story, and it had a really thematically rich story. There's like all sorts of imagery in that movie. There's all sorts of like particularly religious imagery, and I don't see that brought up. Yes, a lot.
Okay, I don't remember that, but I'll look for it.
If you go through it, you can actually see there's a lot of like different themes in that movie. I just think it's. I just found it really, really powerful when I watched it, and it wasn't just because of the effects. The effects were amazing, obviously, but it's always good when you have both those aspects in such great form. And I just think that's why Gravity's on my list.
Okay, fine. I guess I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Yeah,
but you're gonna miss out, man. You couldn't see it in 3D, like the massive screen. That's how it's supposed to be watched. Did you not remember seeing it like?
Do you have a 4K screen at least at home?
I do, yeah.
4K monitor. Yeah, just put it on there and sit close to it.
Because I remember like seeing it on whenever I was like flying when I was like flying overseas, they would have it on like the in-flight movie, and it's just like in a tiny square, and it's still pretty good, but like it just takes away so much from the movie a bit. You know what I mean? Because you have it on like the tiny screen. That's just not how it's meant to be watched at all. It's like watching it on your phone, and it's just a bit.
Yeah,
a bit
Gravity
sad.
is definitely an experience, an emotional experience. Like what she goes through in the film.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, Sandra Bullock is fantastic in that movie.
yeah.
I think.
You'd think so, huh?
I didn't know you hadn't seen it, Tarun. I just assumed like it was one of those movies that everybody's seen. Because it was such a big thing at the time when it came out, but
Yeah, it was 2013, right?
I think so, yeah.
We were in school at the time.
I just see it says October on the poster image you picked.
Oh man, you should definitely go see it.
I'll watch it. God. Well,
What Blade Runner, of course, good pick. Again,
Well,
a cult film
2049,
like Tron Legacy.
Controversial opinion. I think 2049 is one of those rare sequels that's better than the original, and
Yeah.
that is my hot take.
Yeah,
what is it about 2049 that you think overtakes the first film?
Excellent question, Turin. Well, the thing about like if you watch the original Blade Runner, obviously you can see why it's so influential. Why so many video games, so many movies have tried to take its sort of imagery, if you like, because you can see it like its influence pretty much everywhere you go.
Cyberpunk.
Especially when you look
carbon.
at like exactly, yeah, you can see it everywhere.
Yeah.
But what I found was when I watched the original Blade Runner, it was good, but I felt there was something missing from that movie. 2049 had that missing something. I don't know actually what it is, but I just think 2049 it really it's one of those rare sequels that actually has like a purpose.
Like,
because obviously we talk about Hollywood making tons of sequels that don't mean anything,
yeah.
just cashing off names of franchises and stuff like that.
Yeah.
2049 to me was different because it actually had like a story that was worth telling, and it went in a really interesting direction that was believable in that universe, if you like.
yeah, yeah. In comparison to 2049, I think the first film puts forth the argument that okay, what is the real difference between these replicants and humans? Like so it presents that dichotomy, I guess. But it's really an action film that presents a dichotomy and doesn't really do anything character driven with it. I think. I mean, it does, but it
that's
doesn't
maybe what it is.
take
Yeah.
it all the way.
Yes, I think so. Because you know what it is, like I was always obviously Blade Runner is really really good, but it was missing that certain something. I found it really sort of, I don't know how to explain it. It always just like goes from place to place without much sort of energy behind it, if you like. It's just sort of,
Yeah, that's right.
it really sort of just sits in it, and I find it like it's really, you go look at it, it's really theme rich, but it's not backed up by story and characters, if you like, as much. I think 2049 they had a story, they had characters, so that makes it a better film to me, in my opinion.
Well,
Alex agrees.
Yeah, exactly. To support a controversial opinion, Alex does side with you. So great.
You guys seen 2049? I know Krishna must have done. Turin,
I've seen. I think I saw the first half. I never finished it because of time.
Oh my god! I found like when I watched it, I actually watched it in the cinema and I came out of it. Some of my friends I went to watch it with, they really loved it. Some of my friends, they didn't like it at all because they felt it was like too long and stuff like that. But I was kind of like, well, I don't know what you expect from Blade Runner. It's supposed to be long. Oh wow! Twice in the cinema. I didn't even do that, but yeah.
She's a better movie fan than us.
I mean, Blade Runner is a film that I do regret not being able to watch in the cinema when it was out. If only.
Oh, she worked at the cinema. She could go for free. Oh my god, that's such a good job.
Nice.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I did watch this in the cinema. It was awesome. Like it did use the entire screen. Like it had that cinematic quality.
But I think unlike Gravity, you can still watch it at home, and it still has the same effect. I think. I mean, obviously the effects are really good, but it it won't be diminished in any way. I don't
Yeah.
think if you watch it at home. So stick with it. It's really good. That's right.
Yeah. So I have two films to one to watch, one to finish. Yeah, Matt.
Talk about Apocalypse Now. I think I
I was-
started to watch Apocalypse Now, but I think I left it midway for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell
Okay.
us what
so-
happens.
Well, okay. The thing about Apocalypse Now, I think it is quite possibly my favorite war movie. The only other one that I can sort of think of that even so comes close to matching it is Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh, yeah.
It's that kind of film,
but
But that's animated, and we can't
But-
include animated movies in
yeah,
this.
we had a rule we're going to do our own
I think we need
animated
a separate segment
movies.
for that.
Yeah, we'll have an animated film segment for another episode whenever we choose to do that.
Yeah, okay, but
Okay.
you know, obviously, Apocalypse Now and Grave of the Fireflies, they're focusing on different aspects of war, if you like. To me, Apocalypse Now it's focusing on the chaos and just this huge fear, you know, batshit craziness of war, and you know, it has just this incredible like descent into madness. And obviously, I get Krishna why you may have like given up on it early on.
It was kind of maybe was it slow? It might have.
It is quite.
It
slow.
might have been
It
slow.
has, like,
Maybe
very
that's why.
deliberate- It has a very deliberate pace, I find, and you know, it's
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
It was made like decades ago, but it still has some of the best effects I think I've seen in any war movie, even like right. It's just like, you know, beyond crazy practical effects. And
Yeah.
I just think there's so much in that movie to unpack. It's like I said, like a lot of my movies I think on my list are really theme rich. This is a really theme rich movie, but it comes up with this story that is just so, it's like surreal, it's absurd, and it's, you know, it's on that line between like realism and like surrealism. And I think it really captures like that feeling of war where you don't really know like what's real and it all seems like a nightmare.
I see.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, if you haven't seen Apocalypse Now, you need to go see it because it is.
I
Like,
will. Yeah. You know why?
It
It's
is.
not that I don't like slow movies. I do actually. Because I watched a different film. It's called The Thin Red Line. Have you seen that?
No.
No. Oh man, you should watch it. It's Terrence Malick. I think he directed it, and Hans Zimmer composed the score. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it
So,
out. Yeah,
that was
I
an
think
incredible,
Apocalypse Now,
incredible film.
Yeah,
It's
so
more
I
a
think you'll actually
soulful
enjoy
war
it.
movie than a chaotic war movie. It goes very slow and it focuses on the people. Yeah, but yeah, I'll check out.
Apocalypse Now is a bit different.
Okay,
But yeah,
more
it
action
is-
at least.
It had if I remember correctly, it had a really troubled production. I remember like they actually filmed it not because obviously it's about the Vietnam War, but they actually filmed it in the Philippines, I think. And
Oh,
I remember
cool.
reading somewhere apparently that the sets were destroyed by typhoon or something like that. And yeah, it has Lawrence Fishburne
Wow.
in one of his first movie roles. Actually, he lied about his age to actually join. Yeah, but
Oh, that's cool.
he said he was 17 or something, but he was actually 14. But by the time they finished the movie, he was already 17 because it just took them that long to like put everything together. The production was so
Wow.
troubled. Yeah, very
Nice. That's smart, actually.
Yeah.
That guy's cool. I like Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah. You know,
No,
hey,
you should definitely check it out. It is.
yeah, I don't know if anyone has The Matrix, but I would have put it on there if I remembered it. The Matrix on my grid.
Lawrence Fishburne
Yeah.
reminded you of the Matrix, huh?
I mean, I want to talk about the social network a little bit more.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
because
go ahead.
we didn't raise something that I think is really, really important. Because I had the occasion because I think the social network is now on Netflix. I may be wrong, depending on
It
where
is,
you
yeah.
guys are. But I recently had the chance to watch it again. I watched it when it first came out, but I haven't like touched it since. And I recently watched it again. And what strikes me about that film is how much it continues to be accurate, even now. Obviously, given how Facebook has developed over the years,
Yeah.
and
No.
all the controversy surrounding
Wait,
Facebook.
wait.
You know,
Accurate in what sense?
I mean, you just get this feeling that from watching The Social Network, you get very much get the sense that this was a thing that was always going to be eventually, mired in controversy.
Yeah, it was sort of prophetic,
And
right?
yeah, it's almost prophetic. If you like. And
Okay.
when you watch it now, it's like, wow, you can actually see like the roots of it in this movie, like how accurately obviously, Aaron Sorkin and all that lot have like accurately seemed to, predicted the
weren't
path
there?
basically.
Okay. Because weren't there reports that, factually speaking, the film wasn't all that accurate to real life events?
Yeah,
I mean,
made up some things like what's the girl's name? The one he was trying to impress, Albright, or something,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah,
she didn't
yeah.
exist actually. I think either she didn't exist or she had a different name.
I think she
I
had a
think
different
I'm
name.
not talking about accuracy in terms of facts.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
that's what I
I'm
wanted to
talking more
clear up.
about I'm talking more about accuracy of feeling, I think, and sort of
Right.
general thematic direction.
Yeah.
If you like.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you haven't watched The Social Network in a while, go back and watch it. And I think I was surprised personally about how accurate, in quotation marks, it feels.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, on top of everything else Chris just said about why it's brilliant, I think it's brilliant. So.
well, one of the few films you guys can agree on.
yeah. Well, like I said, there's loads and loads of great movies on there, and the room for overlap is like really minimal. To be fair, so.
Yeah. Oh, what about
So we have.
What about Mad Max? You.
What to tell you, man? Love the story, love the cinematography. It's amazing.
The VFX.
Isn't that what everybody says about Mad? Yeah. Isn't that what everyone says about Mad Max?
So it's just a straight
Yeah,
up
it kind of
destruction.
continues.
So because it's a straight up destruction derby is why you love it.
Well, I mean, there's that, but it's also that it's a really well done destruction derby.
That's
Like,
true.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
What do you think of the?
You know-
Krishna, go.
The other thing I like about it is that it has just enough dialogue, just enough. Like I remember the
Yeah.
scene, where the truck fails and Max catches up with the ladies, and he's
Yeah.
like, I think he has like his mouth is clamped shut, and he's just motioning them with his gun.
Yeah.
Get me get me a pair of get this off of me. Give me some water.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think
so funny.
it feels to me like unencumbered, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Because obviously you have a lot of films that are just really, really full of themselves.
So Tim,
If you like, this film is not. It is just, it is what it is, and it's perfectly enjoyable like that.
So Tim, would you say you're excited for the Furiosa movie?
Very excited.
Does anyone know?
I know they've been having I think George Miller's been having arguments with, I think it's Warner Brothers again, but about.
There's a Furiosa movie in the works.
Yeah, there's a
like
Furiosa
a
movie.
prequel or something. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
a prequel, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
I think it's a prequel.
Okay. But yeah, does anyone know when that's expected to come out?
I wish. Haven't really been keeping up with it, to be honest.
Yeah, I just remember seeing some news pop up. I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that was happening.
But I don't think it's Charlize Theron this time. It's someone else.
Is it not?
Obviously, because it's a pre. Yeah, it's not. I don't think so. Or maybe
Oh.
I think they've casted someone younger. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
like a prequel.
Latest news I see here is that it's slated for 2023, and
Oh.
Charlize Theron feels heartbroken over the recasting.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're doing it like younger character, then I kind of get that. But.
I mean, if she's heartbroken, I mean, I guess she wouldn't be allowed to know what the plot is, right?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, if she knew it was a prequel, then I feel like she would have been okay with it. But the fact she is a little heartbroken, I don't know. Maybe she just loved the character enough that she would have loved to play it as a prequel character too.
Yeah, maybe.
great movie. It's a great movie. I was surprised none of you guys. Well, I don't know whether Sharon has it, but Krishna didn't. So.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
No, I was just surprised that you didn't have it on your list, Krishna, because I think it's really, really good. But...
It is, yeah, yeah.
It didn't occur to you.
No, it did occur to me, but no, that was just. I mean,
There was
I don't watch it
better
that much,
films
and it's a
better films like Man of Steel. Wait, what?
yeah, yeah. There are better films like Man of Steel.
Are you kidding me? No.
Nah, yeah, I'm kidding. I just, that okay. I'm gonna change my honorable mention to Mad Max Fury.
Yeah, you can't say that. You can't.
You've changed it a few times now. Okay, you changed it to Tron, then Matrix, and now Mad Max. You gotta pick one, man.
Okay. Hey, yeah. Talk about Life of Pi. That's the last one.
Yeah, that's the
on
one
your-
we.
I wasn't expecting this to come up with any of you guys. Again, I think part of the reason why I love the movie is because I love the book. And the book is, I think, really well adapted. Obviously, there's a whole conversation you can have about how well, you can ever adapt anyone's like written work into like a film. But Life of Pi, I think gets it. And I guess what appeals to me about it is it is steeped in sort of spirituality, and it has the character going on this, spiritual journey, which is the whole idea of the book, and I think the movie as well. And what I love about it is there's such rich imagery in that movie. Again, really, 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 really rich themes, I think. And yeah, I just remember when I watched it in the cinema, I just really, really enjoyed it. Because I'm an atheist personally. I don't believe in anything. I don't have any of that sort of baggage on me, if you like. But I think if there's one film that sort of makes me appreciate the sort of religious viewpoint, that it sort of brings this richness and color into your life, I think it's Life of Pi. It really makes me appreciate that.
The Avatar, yeah.
Oh my god, not that again.
Last Airbender, not the movie.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen it. You guys must have seen it. I just it offers that really rich viewpoint to me.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it, but a long time ago, so I don't really remember what happens. I know, I know the actors who were in it.
Yeah,
but
Irfan Khan.
Yeah, Irfan Khan, who died recently.
Yeah, rest in peace. But yeah, it was a great. He comes up at the end, right? He's the one narrating the story throughout. Like he's a kid, and now he's growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, really great picks here, Tim.
Yeah. I mean, I want to talk about. I could talk about Empire Strikes Back the whole day.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give you 2 minutes.
And go.
If you want to talk about it.
No, I mean, what is there to say? I think Empire is like most people's favorite.
I think so.
I think it probably is.
No, it's not controversial to say. What would be controversial to say is that The Last Jedi is your favorite.
I was thinking about that. Yeah. I'm a fan of The Last Jedi, but I know you guys disliked it.
What? No, I liked it. What do you mean?
All right.
Wow.
I mean, I think. Okay, we're not. Do you want to get into the Last Jedi conversation? Because that's gonna take out.
No, I'm just saying you and I had a conversation about The Last Jedi, and we both liked it for being different.
I will concede that there are parts of The Last Jedi that could have been better.
And yeah, no, of course, and it does some out of character stuff, but just for being different, I like it. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, because there was whole debate about. Obviously, I love The Force Awakens as well. I really enjoyed them. If you ask me, like, what is your number one experience in the cinema, like in your entire life, it's definitely Star Wars: Force Awakens. I can tell you that much.
Wow.
Force Awakens.
Loved the movie as much as I did in the cinema than I did Force Awakens.
In the cinema, right? But for Star Wars, you like Episode 5.
Star Wars overall, Episode 5 is still the best.
Right.
But in terms of this, obviously, in terms of the cinematic, Force Awakens top of the list. But obviously, the whole thing about The Force Awakens about it being too similar, and then the fans complain about it being too similar to the first movie, and then you do The Last Jedi, and then they complain it's too different. It's sort of like, what do you guys want? You know what I mean?
I think one of my top experiences in cinema was Last Jedi, just for the pure cinematography and sound design they did for that film.
Oh yeah, it is. Wow.
It's a beautiful looking film. I'll just say that.
Yeah, there's no denying that, I think. Yeah. Like, you love it or hate it. Cinematography, wow.
Yeah, on point.
I remember actually, when The Force Awakens came out, we all went to see it together, and then like I was sleeping over at Tarun's house, and then we woke up the next morning and we were like, "Do you want to go see it again? Do you want to go see it again?" And we went to see it
You
again.
went to see it again.
Yeah.
Hey, look, as Star Wars
Yeah, I remember that.
fans, we got way too overhyped for that film, and we still like the film. Don't get us wrong. Well, don't get me wrong. At least, like I still like the film. But at the time when it came out, we were so hyped. I think we went to watch it at least 3 times within the week.
Yeah,
I've
that was
seen it
me
three,
with
four
Man of
times.
Steel, by the
Yeah.
way.
Tim went to watch it more because
I
he
can
watched it with
understand.
his brother and parents as well.
Yeah, and my cousins.
Yeah, and your
that's what
cousin.
happened. That was my third time, and I was like, yeah, it was still almost as good as the first time. Which, yeah.
Yeah. Then
I
we
know some
found
people don't
out.
like it,
Then we found out they didn't have a roadmap, so it kind of fucked up the writing and stories. It was sad. Oh well.
Yeah, well,
That's in the past. Can't do anything about it now.
I mean, it just struck me that little memory of us like waking up the next morning and being like, we haven't had enough Star Wars. Let's go watch it.
Very true. Very true. All right.
I'm the odd one out here again because I didn't like The Last Jedi. But I think we should table this and maybe have a different episode on,
We can go for. We
Yeah,
can go,
yeah.
this is what I'm saying. We
the
can go for-
direction, the new direction of the Star Wars films and what we think about it.
Well, we'll
So,
see.
you
We'll
know,
see. We might have a
Yeah.
podcast on it. We might not. We'll see. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on. I think Tim, you have a solid pick here. All good 9 picks. Apollox.
Would you
Thank
choose
you.
one?
It's always good to know that Tarun appreciates that I have taste. It's like, oh yeah, you know what? I could just pick like really
Good
shitty
taste,
movies.
good taste.
It's like, no, this is good, man. You have
Apocalypse Now. I've never heard of or seen before, so maybe I'll check it
I've
out.
never heard of Apocalypse.
I've never heard of.
Well,
Before this day, I didn't know what Apocalypse Now was.
you need to check it out. It's like 3 hours long, but
I
Yeah.
think.
What would you pick as your
Really,
number
really
one,
good.
Tim?
Yeah.
number one?
From this, what would you be your top? Just from this.
Oh man. Well, it's kind of a difficult question because they're all really different movies.
Yeah. Okay, I guess.
I mean, like,
Right
if you
now.
pick one that I would watch over and over,
Right now, if you had to pick one to go watch, which one would you go for?
Social Network.
Social Network. Okay. And
Because I don't think I feel I haven't seen it enough.
and as we know,
Because I've watched it like 6 times.
it's really tough to come up with 9 and cut down a lot of the list. So, is there anything from the list you had that you would like to mention honorably? Give an honorable
Yeah.
mention.
Okay. So honorable mention. You guys probably wouldn't have heard of it. It's a film called 12 Angry Men. Came out in 1954.
It's a Tim. I think TOK.
Did we watch it in TOK? Well, we must have. Maybe we did.
I don't know if we watched it in TOK, but it did come up in TOK a lot. TOK, for those who don't know, is Theory of Knowledge, our international baccalaureate class back in high
Yeah,
school.
we explained it.
Yeah. Okay. So I can talk about 12 Angry Men for a little bit if we have time.
Yeah, sure. Mention it.
So it's a very bare bones film. It's essentially a legal drama where it follows a jury of men, sort of back in the 1950s. They're sort of debating over whether they're going to they're going to find this black youth guilty of murder and sentence him to the I guess it's the electric chair. Anyways,
Wow.
Yeah.
they basically shot it all in one set. It was just like basically almost entirely in one room. It's just about them debating sort of their own perspectives on it and sort of how they sort of appreciate the value of human life and stuff like that. And the curious thing about it is the film doesn't actually give any of the people names. They're all known as like Juror 1 through 12.
Yeah.
Right until the end of the movie. So it really counts on the viewer to sort of
Follow along.
to sort of debate to see how they're bringing in their own sort of life histories, their own sort of perspectives to it.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how they slowly change opinions throughout the film.
I mean, at the beginning, it sort of presented like the cases like airtight, the guy did it, But over the sort of course of the film, you're right. They sort of like things coming to doubt, and it's sort of like that. I think it is recommend. I know it's recommended in some undergraduate law programs. They recommend it's one of the films sort of students can watch before they actually go to study because it is really encapsulates the sort of legal process in that sort of area of law really well.
And just
It
basically,
obviously didn't sound very interesting on sort of when we're talking about it, but you know, when you are watching, you get swept away into it. It is really, really like electric, and it shows you the power of this, you know, having actors and dialogue, and that's it.
I'm just gonna say, if it wasn't for this one juror who started the whole debate, that film would have been really short. But no,
A bit of a dark take, but
I just find it really funny. That's all. Like, if one guy wasn't there, the whole film would end so quickly.
but yeah, no, yeah, definitely go check it out because if you can find it, I don't know, maybe it's on Netflix.
So 12 Angry Men, right?
Yeah, from
Yeah.
the 1950s. Yeah.
Obviously, it just I know we made it sound like it's not very good. Like, it sounds kind of boring. It's just that, oh yeah, these guys are sitting around a table debating stuff. But no, it's actually hard to describe when you go watch it. It becomes way more than that. So
Yeah.
that would be my honorable mention. I was really seriously considering like putting it on my action list because I think it's really good. But
Okay. But yeah,
Cool.
bit of a non-traditional pick for you guys there.
I don't know. It's a pretty solid pick. I did forget about it when I was picking my
We're
list.
looking for non-traditional. That's okay.
All right.
A bit unusual. I definitely didn't figure you guys were gonna have it, so I was like, yeah, I'll bring that up.
I think if I had thought of it, maybe, but I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see.
It's one of you. It's one for you legal buffs out there. Like that sort of thing.
All right.
It's like the OG film.
Okay. So I think we can move on. Tim, again, solid picks, solid reasons.
TY.
We'll definitely probably check out. We'll definitely check out Gravity after this. Probably check out
You'll check out
Apocalypse.
Gravity.
Definitely properly.
Probably check out Apocalypse now. I'm not sure.
It's definitely maybe, Tarun.
A definite
you should-
maybe. Yes.
All right, I wonder who
Alright.
could be next.
All right. So
Yeah, who's next?
let's transition over. Who could it be? This is this it could be anyone, guys. It's really close.
Imagine
Oh.
what happens if it lands in that little like.
Oh, it's Tarun!
Oh, it's Tarun.
It is me, guys. Okay. So
Alright, let's go.
I guess I'll transition over to my own grid now. There it is. Oh, don't say anything yet. No transition. And there's my pick. I think you might be surprised and not surprised at the same time.
Yeah, a lot of good movies I can see here.
No overlap. That's
We mentioned Rush before. I mentioned Rush before. It's on
Yeah,
there.
that's
Very good.
why I like quickly brushed over when you said it because I had it on my list.
Yeah. Outside, also good. High five, you know.
Rush Hour
Airplane's
2,
hilarious.
yes, Parker in it. Rush Hour 2 was the shit for me.
it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, that was good.
Airplane, yeah.
It's
Did-
hilarious.
I'm surprised no one thought of like other genres. Everyone went so
I
deep,
did
drama,
think about it.
character, and I'm like, I need some funny films here.
You know, I was
Rush
gonna
Hour
bring
2.
up, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That was like a serious contender. Like last minute.
Yeah, so obviously, on my list, you guys can already tell I am a Marvel fan. I was Spider-Man, Iron Man,
Just a
Logan.
bit. Just a bit.
Then I kind of get into a little bit of, in the between the comedy and the action, a little sci-fi in the middle, with Rush Hour 2, Back to the Future, and Airplane. Then we go into more of the serious dramatic stuff here, where which I really enjoyed, more recent films, Green Book, Parasite, and Rush.
You know, I have to say, I like that you took advantage of, our lack of specificity with the one per franchise rule. And then you just put 3 hero films on there.
I mean,
They're not of the same
we
universe.
call that a violation of the rule in spirit, if you like. Technically not, but
The rule
bit
was
of a gray area.
for the Marvel films. You said one per cinematic universe. These are not the same cinematic universe. Just saying.
Oh, Motor Junkie says, I'm surprised no one
Okay,
picks
fine.
for any animated films in their top
Okay.
picks. Actually, we're going to do our own episode on that.
We will do an episode for animated movies. If I didn't make it clear earlier, these are just live action movies.
Yeah,
we
we'll
will
have
definitely,
one
because
separate.
we were actually debating this. Like,
Yeah.
I was saying to these guys, like, I have like I could just do a list of animated movies like on its own, and it would just be like completely animated like movies.
We were
Like,
considering
we're gonna set up.
we were gonna have anime movies on here, but then it just became too hard to pick our movies. So we are like, let's split it up. We'll do a live action one and we'll do an animated one, just because animated movies give a whole different experience. You know, can
Yeah.
deliver so much more in so much other creative ways.
Yeah, just
I will
follow
say-
us, okay? And then you'll see when we upload or stream our animated movie episode.
Mm.
I'm looking forward to that one already. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
All right. So I think I'll go through my superhero picks real quick first, because I think it's pretty simple, straightforward, at least for
Let
me.
me just jump in right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of superheroes. I've kind of gone off them, but
Aw.
but some of those superhero movies you pick on there, they would be, if I was forced to watch superhero movies, that would be the one. Some of those would be the ones I'd pick. So
Mm.
fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start off with Spider-Man 2. So obviously I think a lot of people who've watched Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi movies, Spider-Man 2 is notoriously known to be the best one, and for good reason. Is because of the chemistry Peter Parker and Alfred Molina's character Doc Ock have throughout the film. Very much something that's kind of replicated in the recent Spider-Man video game, Marvel Spider-Man. You know, they have this almost father-son relationship. They turn on, and then Doc Ock goes crazy, and then there's this whole character depth analysis that goes into it, and it's just, they do it so well, and it's amazing. There's there's foreshadowing within the dialogue that comes back and bites in the ass later on in the film. The action is great, the CGI is great, and Spider-Man 1 was probably one of the first superhero movies I ever saw, and it's what got me hooked onto Spider-Man and made him one of my favorite superheroes ever.
I will say this though. Parker Ned says, yes, Spider-Man 2 is the best one from those movies. Agreed, yes. Except for the Nickelback theme song. I've forgotten about that theme song, but oh boy.
I should tell you guys.
You know what? I think it brings a character. Yeah.
Oh god.
When I was a kid, I was a Spider-Man fan. Like, I had Spider-Man t-shirts, Spider-Man paper masks, and in every picture that my parents used to take of me, I would do the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man finger pose or hand pose.
Oh my god.
Where you
no.
bend your middle finger and riddle. Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah. So I was that much of a fan. So yeah, that movie is great. Anyway,
But
I
yeah,
don't think
Yeah.
it's the best Spider-Man movie though. I would say.
what would you say is a better Spider-Man movie? Not the animated one though.
Oh, well, okay, then it is the best.
I know which one you're gonna talk about.
If not Spider-Verse, then that one.
Yeah, honestly, between
Yeah.
Spider-Verse and this, I think Spider-Man 2 still takes it for me. It's probably because of nostalgia's sake. It might be nostalgia playing
maybe,
into
yeah.
it for me at least. But yeah, the Spider-Man 2, great. I'm so glad they brought the Sam Raimi costume into the video game. Anyway, moving on. Iron Man on there. I think to this day it still holds up as one of the best MCU films. It's the film that started it all, and it still holds up for everything it was and everything it is. You know,
agree.
it's like, I love the sound design, I love the cinematography, I love the acting. Robert Downey Jr., they couldn't have found anyone better to take on the role, and did such a great job. I am sad that they made his suit more CGI along the over the years, because the suit looks way better in the first film than it does in the later films.
Yeah, because they were experimenting with new tech, like the nanotech and the flying.
No, I don't mean
they
by
have
I don't mean how it looks like aesthetically. I mean like just how it looks in VFX. You know,
Right.
it looks
How
more
do you mean?
realistic. Like, it looks more realistic in the first film than it does in the later films.
The metal, right? The material.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's because
Yeah, I've seen some comments from people they say the new suits look plasticky and they don't have as much sheen to
yeah,
it.
It's
Is that
because
what you're referring to?
yes, because they use all VFX in the later films, while in the first one they had practical mixed with VFX,
Yeah,
and most of it, well,
yeah.
half of it was practical. So I kind of miss they stopped doing that, and it's kind of bummer. This film does the practical stuff, and it's amazing because it holds up so well, and you can watch it and not question the CGI.
I think he
Yeah.
probably has the best Marvel story.
Yeah,
Yep, it does. It's
it
my
does.
number one MCU film,
Yeah,
No, I'm thinking
I
about
think.
it. Like, obviously, we can debate like whether it has any real competition later on, but
Yeah,
I think it's
no. But I think Black Panther maybe,
maybe,
maybe.
but for me,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I can definitely see your argument for this one because it has.
Controversial opinion, but
Oh yeah, maybe.
for me, Iron Man stays the top only because first film, and it brought Iron Man, who was thought to be an obscure character in the comics, but I did used to watch there's an Iron Man cartoon show way before. I don't know if you guys know about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of in the same art style of Spider-Man, the animated series, but a little more dated. Um, oh, okay. We'll see you later, Alex. Thanks for joining the stream.
Yeah, see you around. Thank you for joining.
But yes, Iron Man. I'm so glad they brought it onto the big screen. Highlighted one of my favorite characters in the Marvel comics, and now everyone loves Iron Man, and I'm happy that the character is so well beloved by everyone. And this movie, I can still go back and watch again and enjoy it just as much.
That's interesting. So would you say you're still interested in seeing the rest of the MCU now this arc is sort of complete?
Yeah, because obviously there have been other characters that have come in, and as a Marvel fan myself from the comic books, it's so fun to see the Marvel characters that I've grown up to read like come on to the big screen and make their appearance. And for people who don't know who they are, it's like you didn't know who he was, I did.
I don't know if I agree with you about the MCU as a whole. I think I used to love it, but I've gone off it now. But I will agree with you about Logan, and I think Logan is amazing.
Logan, yes, I'm just about to move on to Logan.
I'll give you that.
But yeah, no, MCU, I still love it. I do understand why people will go off it now because it does. I'll agree myself. They are kind of was milking it a bit too much now, but I personally still love it. Just like any Star Wars fans would love to watch the next Star Wars movie, I still love the MCU.
Actually, I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd still as interested in Star Wars now because I think they kind of like run their course with that.
I mean, they kind of ran it into the ground with episode 9.
So we don't talk about the last movie. Interesting though. I don't know if you guys saw that the guy who was trying to make Colin Trevorrow's cut into a comic, and he recently finished that.
It's a good
comic.
So
I was reading that. It's actually like a much better story in my opinion.
But... Yeah. Sup, Sid? Thank you for your words.
Star Wars fans have been heard enough. Yes, we have.
But yeah, okay. So moving on, Logan, one of the best superhero films, but I don't really know if you can call it a superhero film because it's one of those superhero films that takes a genre and just evolves it in a whole different way. You know? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
It's a very non-traditional superhero film.
Yeah. I think fans of Last of Us would really love Logan. For obvious
I think
parallels.
It's probably the best X-Men movie.
Yes, that I can definitely agree on.
And considering it doesn't have any of the X-Men in it, barely any of it.
The only one that matters.
It doesn't have the team, It doesn't have the team, or it doesn't have any of that.
The only X-Men characters that matter are in this film, which is Wolverine and Professor X.
Well, Magneto matters. Come on.
Okay, fair enough. They missed one.
Yeah.
I think Michael Fassbender really brought that character to justice, Magneto.
Yeah.
Ian McKellen.
Sid says it's a superhero film in my mind, but it's a bit closer to something more like Split and Glass than traditional superhero film. Unbreakables, I enjoyed those movies actually.
I do enjoy those films, and this film does take that approach.
Glass so much.
Glass, not really, yeah. But yeah, this film does take that approach. It grounds the hero a lot more to reality, in a sense of reality. I don't know. It's obviously set like in the near future, after the X-Men has been wiped out because of something Professor X had a migraine, so people died.
Imagine killing people with a mic.
That's kind of dark though. Like I was surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, Logan, and then they brought in X-23. Wasn't it Laura? Was her name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Laura. Yeah.
And yeah,
The
I did not think we would ever see that like so soon, and the fact that they did that film and had brought her in and had her hang out with Logan is just really cool to see. And the CGI on the Hugh Jackman clone, they made him look younger, buffer, more fit, and the fact it looks so real. And I was as a visual artist myself, it did really blow me away how well they executed that.
It says a bit more dark version of superheroes. Doesn't really fantasize the idea of having superpowers. Yeah, I think that's why I like it. To be honest,
Yeah,
'Cause the other,
exactly.
a lot of superhero movies are really like, oh, look at us, we're special. This is like, oh yeah, he's getting old.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like,
getting old. The claws
superpowers
hurt.
can become like disabilities after a while. You
Yeah.
know.
The claws hurt,
That's-
and apparently he's like poisoned or something. Like his healing power.
yeah, by the metal on his bones or something.
Yeah, the adamantium was poisoning him, so his healing powers doesn't work as well anymore. So every time he takes out the claws, it hurts and it doesn't heal properly afterwards, which is really a small little detail they like throw in there, which is really cool to see. But yeah, this is a film very artistic. I think did they ever release the black and white version, which they dubbed
Yeah, I think they have.
the director cut
think they have.
version? Yeah, I might go back and watch that because I haven't seen that yet. But for
Actually, it was James Mangold who directed Ford v Ferrari, wasn't he? He did, Logan.
I believe so.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
I remember reading some interview of his where he said he doesn't like the huge sort of tentpole superhero movies, which is interesting because he made a superhero
He
movie.
made a superhero movie and did not make it a superhero movie.
Which is it's like fair enough because you know the whole thing about how I think it was Martin Scorsese who said he didn't like Marvel movies or something, and then
At least
This thing would have
would be,
blown
yeah.
his mind.
at least James Mangold
Something
did something
else.
about it. God.
I mean, he was like, I don't like the tentpole, but you know, he did his own thing, and I can respect that. Like, he doesn't like it, but, you know, he made this, and he's like, it was really, really good. And
Yeah. But yeah, I think just to sum up my superhero movie taste, I love superhero movies and I'm very biased towards Marvel. Obviously, yes,
Boo!
there's some good DC movies too. Snyder Cut, I was impressed by, I will admit. But out of all the
Thank
superhero movies, I don't think anything really comes close to Logan.
Yeah.
And obviously, as grand as
Dark
Infinity War and Endgame was, and to acknowledge it achieved something really great for the industry, for the planning, for just in film in general. The fact they planned something for 10 years and executed, amazing. But
it says Snyder Cut was a lot better, but even a 4-hour movie is too fast for the amount of stuff they introduced. I mean, it couldn't have been worse, to be fair.
It couldn't have been worse, but it was way better. It was way, way, way better. But yeah,
Like, the worst he was ever going to do with that movie was sort of make one that was like only a little bit better. Just because.
But yeah, Logan, my favorite superhero movie. Iron Man, favorite MCU movie. Spider-Man, favorite movie in superheroes. I guess almost as favorite superhero movie in a different sense from Logan. So moving on to Rush Hour 2. Now, Rush
It
Hour
says,
2.
I mean, there was a Justice League porn, okay? Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, great.
I mean,
Good to know. Good to know.
good to know.
All right, but yeah, moving on. Moving on from superhero movies now. I guess we could talk about Rush Hour 2. And Rush Hour 2, one of my favorite movies of all time. I have watched that movie so many times just for the chemistry between Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. Wait, Chris Tucker?
Yeah.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah, Chris Tucker. Yeah, you're right.
His name in the film is James Cotter, right?
Yeah, James Carter.
Okay.
Carter, you.
Cotter.
You.
But yeah, I love their chemistry. I love the whole like they have this thing together where it's just singing the Edwin Starr War song. The action, Jackie Chan does this thing with the comedic stunt fight action, doing all his own stunts. The whole fight in the spa. I don't know if you guys remember that.
How many of these have you done? Is there only 3 they've done?
They've done 3. They keep talking about doing a
Is it
4th.
3?
They keep talking about doing a 4th, but I don't think,
think
it's
it's 2.
happening.
That's
It's
3.
3. Come on.
It's 3, isn't it? Okay.
Here, I'll remind you what 3 was. Who are you? I am me. Yeah.
Yeah,
who are
yeah.
you?
Yeah.
That scene, oh my god.
Yeah, you are right, Sid. Jackie Chan did retire. That's why I don't think a 4th is happening, even though there have been talks about a 4th
Oh, did he
happening.
retire, really?
He's basically retired at this point. I don't think he'll be doing any more or as many films anymore. He even got the Oscar, for like a achievement, an honorary Oscar for
Oh, right, the ones they give out for like people who've contributed
When? Year
to the
was this?
industry.
I don't know. I think it was 2017, 16, 17. I don't know. All right, we'll see you later, Parker Ned. Thanks for joining the stream.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Parker and Ed. Not sure if there were 2 people or just one. Probably one.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll never know. Okay, so yeah, Rush Hour 2, love it for
Yeah,
comedy.
thank you for joining.
Love it for comedy, action, and okay, he's Parker from Parker Net, so it's just Parker. All right, we'll see you later, Parker. But yeah, sum it all up. Rush Hour 2, love it for Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. Great chemistry. Great.
I honestly
duo.
didn't know that he retired. That is so weird. But I guess maybe he's getting up there. And
He
yeah,
is getting pretty old, but he's still a badass to this day.
I mean, to be fair, like considering how much work he's done, it's like.
Did you know Jackie Chan does have a stunt double?
Okay.
Yeah, I knew that, but I don't think he
No.
uses them that much.
No.
No?
Yeah,
Okay, you tell
he
us.
doesn't use them that much, but you know what he does use them for?
What?
All the walking scenes.
Wait, what?
Well, not all of them, but quite a bit of them. It's because Jackie Chan does his own stunts, as we know.
Right. Yeah.
He'll
Of
give
course,
his time.
walking so hard. Sid said.
No. So what the reason behind it is he he does a lot of stunts, so he puts all his time into it. So he doesn't have time to be on the shoot all the time. So when they just need like resting shots or like walking shots, Jackie Chan doesn't need to be there. Right? He's gonna go off and do something else while he's busy with something else.
Right, yeah.
So they get a stunt double in to just shoot him walking. And he'll come back when they really need him to do stunts and then some face shots, that's all.
That's so funny.
I mean, I remember seeing, like, you guys were talking about Jackie Chan. I remember seeing some interview he did. I think it was like one of those like American television, talk shows,
Yeah.
where he was sort of saying like he wishes he'd be cast in like romance movies because he's kind of like got a he's like typecast into like action movies and that kind of stuff and comedy and stuff like that.
Right.
And just like once I just wish I was like in a romance movie.
Aw.
Which if he was, I'd probably go watch that.
Also, he did some films back in Hong Kong known as Police Story, which is also great. If anyone's a Jackie Chan fan, you guys should definitely watch those films.
He sings too, by the way. I saw an interview where he was
Yeah, he
singing,
does.
I think on Strombo. Yeah, in Chinese.
Yeah. But yeah, I think moving on from Rush Hour 2.
He's a legend, man. Yeah.
Oh, I just also want to just point out Rush Hour 2 has a scene where he has the bomb in his mouth taped up. And he's like, and then they have that miscommunication issue. It's like, what's your thing beeping in your mouth? It's like, oh, whoa! I just love their dynamic. It's amazing. And I love watching that movie over and over again just for that. But moving on, the next film I have on here is Back to the Future. Now, Back to the Future.
I picked this.
Yeah, Tim, I was surprised you didn't.
I just might have forgotten to list it. To be honest. There was a lot of stuff that. You know how I assembled my list. I know it was the same for you guys, but I was just sort of like over like the past week and stuff, just been like slowly adding to it, like day by day. Just movies that I gradually keep thinking of. And I think maybe it just didn't make the cut for whatever reason.
But yeah, Back to the Future. I love. It's another one of the classic films that I really love going back to. You know, it's one of the first I think time travel movies I saw as well as a kid, and I still go back and watch to this day. And it has one of my favorite songs that this film introduced me to, and I still listen to again to this day, called "Johnny Be Good" by Chuck Berry.
Oh
Yeah,
my god!
it's a
Anyone
good
who
song.
knows Turan knows he never shuts up, brother.
Yeah,
It's like a permanent fix.
They sent this song on the golden record, up the Voyager.
Oh, the void you go.
Yep.
but yeah,
Yeah, that's bad.
I love the song. I love the movie. I love the whole concept, and also that scene. The scene that comes to mind every time I think of this movie is when Marty McFly dresses up in like 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 a plumber or something with the boots and a helmet, and he plays rock music into George McFly's ears and pretends to be Darth Vader. I am Darth Vader. You must kiss this girl in prom night. I just love that scene. Yeah, as a Star Wars fan and then as a fan of Back to the Future, it's just really cool to see that reference over there. And also the skateboard scene. That was amazing. Oh god, I just love this movie.
It's a good movie. I wish I.
And Doc Brown, played by, is it Christopher Lloyd? Is the actor's name?
Oh boy.
Oh,
I can fact check this. Give me a second.
okay, but
Yeah, go on.
Christopher Lloyd, right?
Yep, you're right. Yeah.
All right, yeah, Christopher Lloyd, amazing in that movie. Love his role. The crazy mad scientist. Something that I think he kind of also like solidified the whole trope of how mad scientists are act in, films and movies, and it just works so well. And the fact he bounces off Marty McFly so much. A Doc Brown, Marty McFly. And I just like how the film ends, leading into the next film, which is like to be continued or whatever. It's just really cool and get you excited for the next film. Even though the next film was alright, but the third film was really good too, and I was considering putting that on here instead of this, but I think Back to the Future 1 just has more of a charm to it that works really well. But yeah,
good pick.
Yes. The next film on here is Airplane. Now, Airplane, again.
I haven't seen this one, unfortunately.
It's like a classic comedy movie.
It's such a classic. It's a great slapstick comedy. I think it was the first film Leslie Nielsen was in, which was not that he was in, but the first comedy role he did. Yeah.
I'm not totally sure.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm correct on that, but I believe it was his first comedy role, and this was the film that started his comedic career. Because before this, he only did drama films, and he's a very serious actor. He'd only do drama films. He'll take on the most serious roles and everything. Then he took this on, and he was still like, and the thing with Leslie Nielsen, he'll deliver all his lines so seriously, but it's so ridiculous that it just adds on to the comedy. But yeah, I love the whole intro of Airplane kind of like tells you what kind of movie this is going to be. You see white frog Buddhist monks boarding the plane, and then you see you see these people from Jamaica, is it? Who are also boarding. Basically, you're getting like tidbits of information and introduction to all the passengers that go be on the plane, and it's just such a diverse bunch of characters and people that are boarding this plane. Is just setting it up already, like in your head, like how ridiculous it's gonna be and how it's all gonna go down. And didn't they have a blow up doll captain? Like a
Otto.
I just love that. The way they utilize that, it's an inanimate object, and the way they utilize it, it becomes its own character, and it's just amazing. Oh god, I just love this film so much. If you haven't seen it, Yeah, watched
The
Airplane.
inflatable.
Watched Airplane a long time ago. It was so good. Yes, and it's still good. If anyone's a fan of slapstick comedy, this film is amazing. I would definitely recommend this film to go watch if you haven't seen it. If you want a good laugh, definitely. If you watch
You
something
know what
sad,
reminds me? You know what this reminds me of? You know there's parody movies. You know, have you guys ever seen Hot Shots?
yes. Is that the one with
Hot
Andy
Shots is
Samberg?
hilarious. No, Hot Shots is the one with what's
With,
his name? Charlie Sheen. You know, the one where they take the piss out of Rambo.
oh yeah.
Yeah. That's I love those
I think
movies.
it's like the
I mean,
same
I don't
way.
think they stopped making parody movies.
Yeah, they
'Cause,
did.
I remember they used to make a lot, but there's like none of them now. It's
They
really weird.
did, and then they started making like the shitty, like the really shitty ones, which was like disaster movie, epic movie. You remember those? That was
I don't know if those
so
were as
bad.
good. I was just like that was just literally them just taking this. I think in that kind of like when they were making airplane stuff, I think it was like more subtle,
I
just a
think
bit.
the scene. I remember that scene of the guy who went into the bathroom to shave. Oh
Yeah.
god. And then the plane just does some crazy flips and shit, and he gets cut up all over his face.
Wow.
Yeah, Scary Movie was another like parody movie thing they did. Some of them were good, some of them were pretty shit. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah. Oh yeah, just thinking of Airplane just makes me laugh. It's so good. But to move on now to more of the serious stuff, more of the theme that
So, yeah.
you
You gotta
guys
have
went
the
for.
theme, you got the theme rich story rich genre.
Yes. So first of all, Green Book. So first of all, to clear everything.
Really? Okay, this was interesting to me.
Yeah. So to
I didn't
clear
expect.
clear something up for everyone, because a lot of people seem to get it confused. They say it's based on a true story, but really it's not. It's inspired by a true friendship. So these people exist. They have a good friendship, and from their story, they adapted this film, and it's done really well. I think. What was it an American Italian, becomes a driver for Mahershala Ali's character. What was his name in the film?
He's like a musician, though. He's like a really famous.
He's a really famous jazz musician. This was also back when racism was still, well, it's still kind of still a thing.
It's
But
still kind of a thing, but I think it's when it was maybe legal, if you like.
yeah, this is when basically is the olden times, and this is when black people were still really heavily what's the word?
Discriminated against.
Yes, sorry, discriminated against. Yes.
Implying they aren't now, but that's a
not
whole separate
not
conversation.
as heavily as
Okay.
before. Let's just say that.
So Mahershala Ali's character was called Don Shirley, and Viggo Mortensen's was Tony Lip.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just like you see their journey develop over this was it Tony Lip is taking him on a ride on a tour, assisting him. He's his driver on his tour and getting
Yeah.
into performances, and then it's really interesting to see how he's a very much like, I guess, a racist in the beginning. But then he very much like changes his mind, and then like he sees what kind of person he is and sees how he gets treated, sees how he is as a person. And then just see how this guy, Tony Lip guy, changes his opinion, his mind, and becomes really good friends with this guy he never thought he would become friends with. Just that whole dynamic and how their friendship develops and how it grows, and how close they become. Even to the point where he gets Mahershala Ali's character to write him a love letter to his wife, which is a really cool scene. I really liked seeing that. Tim, I don't know if you remember that scene.
It's been a while since I've seen the movie, to be honest. I think I did enjoy it, though.
Yeah, I remember we both watched it together and both really enjoyed it. We gave it a good review back when we were still Presso to Couch.
Yeah, I think you're right. We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good. I do want to go back and watch it again, but so many stuff, so many things to watch.
Yeah, you gotta watch Gravity first. No question.
And then
Blade
Grand
Runner.
Budapest Hotel,
Oh.
Apocalypse Now, Blade Runner.
Okay.
Don't take away from this. Turin has quite a few movies he needs to watch. This is essentially stop watching Avengers Endgame, whatever it is, for the 12th time, and just go watch something else.
Then the next film we have here is Parasite. I think we've talked a lot about it today. It's the one common movie we've all had across our list. I think.
I haven't.
Oh, Tim didn't have it.
Tim didn't have it because he didn't watch it. But he did watch it.
I did watch it.
Wow.
I mean, it's
Tim,
really, really good. But
you didn't have Parasite on your list?
Oh,
Well, I
Oh
mean,
my god.
I just
Nah.
it was really, really good, but I didn't think I had as much of a personal connection with that movie as I thought. Let's put it that way.
Nah.
No, I see your point.
For
I see why
me-
you guys both had it.
Yeah, but it's a great film, great cinematography, and I just like it's just really well shot, and the coloring of the film. Like, I don't know who's that much crazy about color grading and stuff, but the color grading is so well done here. And also you see like the contrast of the way of life between the rich and the poor in that film, where you literally see the sister, she like crouches up to the bathroom and just starts smoking, which is I think a really like a
Yeah.
fuck this shit attitude.
yeah.
It's like fuck this shit, I'm just gonna smoke.
Literally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Also, that scene when it's raining and the rich people like it.
yeah,
because,
but
you
the
know,
poor.
Hey, it's raining. But then, their
Yeah.
house gets flooded.
Yeah, it's really like
That
you
was
see the
heartbreaking.
contrast, and it's because in the rich side's perspective, it's like, it's calm, it's peaceful, we can just chill, relax, and then the poor people's perspective, oh shit, our house is flooding, gotta get the fuck out of here, get our shit and move. I just like how they highlight that show the contrast and. Just the way the movie is shot, done, and it's so well. And also like the fact it's called Parasite, and the poor who are living here, they're literal parasites hiding in
Yeah.
in the nooks and crannies of the building. They're living there without the owners knowing. Just like they are actual parasites is what's happening.
Yeah.
And
And the parasite usually takes over the host, you see? So in that way,
it's
he
kind
was
of
intelligent.
what happened concerning the ending of the
Yeah.
film. Also, weird ending to
Yeah.
the film, kind of out of nowhere, but I kind of liked it, but also was kind of confused.
What do you mean? Oh,
The
like
ending, the very end.
when he meets his father?
No, what? No,
No?
the ending, Krishna,
The ending?
at the party.
Oh yeah. The crazy scene, right?
Yeah, the crazy.
We're trying not to spoil it for everyone here.
Yeah.
That's why we're like tiptoeing around it. So the party scene, what did you find weird about it?
Just how the scene played out and finished. with the guy,
okay.
with the guy from below, gone crazy. Yeah, I'm not gonna say much. I don't want to give anything.
It's really difficult to talk about it without spoiling it.
I can talk about a lot of it. I just don't want to talk about the ending because it's so unexpected. Okay, but yes.
It really takes away from it if you discuss it too much.
And,
Without, talking about it and about the ending and all that, I think.
but
It's
the,
just really difficult. But...
the last movie I'm going to talk about here is Rush. So Tim, but I did consider putting Ford v Ferrari here. I had Ford v Ferrari and Rush. For me, they were in. I was contesting which one to put up, and in the end, I
I've
went
not
with
seen Rush. I've seen bits of Rush.
Rush, great sound design.
You've seen bits
Right.
of Rush?
I've seen bits.
No.
You need to watch all
no,
of
no,
it.
no. You gotta watch the whole thing. You gotta watch the whole thing.
Tim. Based on a
That's
true
an
story.
assignment.
Based on a true story. Niki Lauda is. I think he was a consultant for the movie while they were making it.
There he was, yeah.
Yeah, and he was so proud the movie was made. He was such close friends with James Blunt, which is who Chris Hemsworth plays in this movie. If those of you who don't know, James Blunt had passed away in his racing career, or was it like a health condition? I'm not sure.
It was probably a health condition.
Yeah,
I mean, I can fact check that if you want. Go ahead.
sure. But yeah, Niki Lauda and James Bond were very close friends. They start off as enemies in the film. You know, they're very much against each other, but in a very sportsmanship like way. They hate each other, but they completely respect one another, and it's a really cool dynamic to see explored in this film. And I just love how they're so competitive. They'll do anything to get ahead of one another, and it's just such an entertaining watch. Seeing the races, looking at the F1 cars, like just zooming by, and I just love the guy. I just love how Nicolada is portrayed in this film. Like I remember there's this
Yeah.
one scene where he's testing a car, and then he's like, "Yeah, your was it your engine is shit." He's like, "What do you mean? We just tested, and it's like, we think it's all good." It's like my ass told me your engine is shit, or something,
Oh yeah.
something
He was
like
with the
that.
woman, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. In the countryside.
No, no, that was another one. He would say like, "Oh, how do you know this?" It's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
that was a different one.
my ass." But no, there's another
Oh,
one.
I was born with a really good ass.
Yeah, it's one of the
I
really
can
good
tell.
ass. And then there's another scene where he's testing racing cars for someone, and then he's more like aggressive towards them. Where it's like, how do you know it's bad? It's like my ass. And then it just
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
basically what he means by that, he's so in tune with cars, and he knows how they're supposed to feel like, how what it takes to make a car better. Every time he drives one, he knows what's wrong and he knows what to change. It's a skill, it's a talent. It's very cool. But yeah, if I don't know how you haven't seen the film yet, it's so good. It's so
Man,
good.
considering the amount of stuff we suggest you haven't watched, like this is the same reason, man. I reckon.
Wow. Well, at least for my list, there's only one film you didn't watch. I think that's a
Yeah,
lot.
the rest of it's like you have two from Krishna and like three from mine. Oh boy,
Two from yours, three. One of them I watched half
rough
of.
estimate. Man.
Yeah. But yeah, I think
I'd be interested. I'd be interested to see what Tim feels after watching Rush. Like, would you pick Rush over V
Ford.
Ferrari?
Yeah, because I picked Rush over
Because I
Ford
would.
v Ferrari.
I don't know,
Yeah,
guys.
same.
I'm kind of stubborn like that. So you know,
I don't
yeah,
know. You gotta watch
maybe
Rush,
I'll just
Tim.
stick
You
with
gotta
it.
watch.
But
You gotta watch Rush. Uh,
Give it a whirl.
yeah, you just gotta watch it, and I think you'll change your mind. Because see, for both me and Krishna, we would put those two up side by side, but I think Rush would win every time. Um, yeah. But I guess if you were to ask me which film I would pick to be the best out of my list here, my grid here, is
go on.
probably, I'm kind of stuck between Logan and Rush.
Really, Logan. Right.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Logan just because superhero film not really evolved. Very Last of Us vibes. It's got Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, who's great in the role, and just the whole grounded aspect and the more the whole art, uh, the direction man's James Mangold takes the film in. I feel like Logan, I think, trumps a lot of the films on this list.
Fair enough.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Uh,
Logan's good, but it's like I wish I didn't consider it like at all for my list.
wow. Did you remember it?
No, I didn't. That's the thing. Like a lot
Okay.
of these, some of these guys think films you guys brought up. I was like,
Wow.
I've only just thought about it now that you guys have brought them up. So I guess it's the part of the experience of having to think of movies you like, which yeah, I think like if you ask me, like I couldn't actually list all the films
Mm.
I really enjoyed, just because I wouldn't remember them all. It would
Yeah,
take me like weeks.
yeah.
Probably even then, I don't think I'd get them all. But
Mm.
yeah,
As for since both of you had an honorable mention, I guess my honorable mention or my list would be Okay, I have a few in mind, but I think I'd have to
You have
go
to pick
with
one. You have to pick one, and you can't mention the
shit. Because there's one I
others.
think.
Even though Krishna mentioned like three.
Okay, like there's two I'm thinking of now, and there's one I think we can have a lot to talk about, and there's another
just spill it out,
which is
man.
kind of
Spill the
expected.
tea.
Uh, should I say the expected one or the one we can kind of talk about?
Say the one we can talk about.
All right, so okay, so I won't say the expected one because I think you guys would kind of know what it is.
Just say it, dude, and get it out of the way.
All right, so the one we can talk about is Men in Black 1.
Oh,
Okay, that's
okay.
Ooh, I didn't think of that.
Men in Black 1, because I think one of the few sci-fi films that doesn't take it takes the the alien side of like the sci-fi films, but not that they're invading, but they're living among and coexisting with humans. And it was, I think, a really cool aspect, really cool thing they did with this idea, and it works so well. Will Smith, does great in this role. The fact Will Smith is paired up with
Tommy Lee Jones.
yes, Tommy Lee Jones. I was gonna say Tom Elliott, and I was like, that's not it. Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith, very opposing personalities, very clashing, but it works so well. Yeah, I love how the film has established that world, and the locker with the tiny aliens, the Great Watch.
I think it's a good movie. I don't know if it's one of my.
I think
I
no,
can definitely see why.
yeah,
Maybe.
that's why I put it as more of an audible mention than on here.
It's pretty funny.
Mhm.
Although I remember being really grossed out by the cockroach guy. It was kind of gross
Yeah.
in one, so.
And the reason I picked 1 over 2 and 3 and international, well, international, I think why we all know why none of us would ever pick international.
Yeah, I would like to pretend international never happened. To be honest.
3, I think was kind of like stretching a bit. Like they didn't really have to do it, but they did it anyway. 2,
1 and 2 are the good ones.
1 and 2 are the good ones, but 1 I think just takes the cake, and the 2 still really good, but one just does it better. Because I think 2 just kind of does 1 again, but in a different way. Yeah. So 1, I think 1 just is great, and it's just such a unique film on its own. Yeah. But yeah, I think those are my picks. We did that.
Cool.
Nice.
Good choices.
Yes, sir. But yeah, I think those are. Yeah.
This reminds me of another Will Smith film that I think I would definitely put as my number 1 honorable mention. You know what it is?
What is that?
Oh shit, I'm blanking on the name. It's the Will Smith wasn't it? It's about him trying to get a job, and
The Pursuit of Happiness.
yeah, the pursuit of happiness.
Where he becomes a stockbroker.
Yeah, a stockbroker.
Yeah.
That film, man, it made me cry. Really. Yeah. So anyway, great film.
Really great films.
Yeah, show. So, should we open it up to the floor? You guys have any movies we should check out?
Yeah, so we want to ask our viewers, whoever's left here, maybe just put it in the chat. What would be your number 1 movie, or if you have any movie recommendations that
That we didn't bring up, by the way.
Yeah,
Because obviously, if you guys bring up stuff we just discussed, then it's like, yeah, we love those movies, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll wait for the suggestions to roll in if there are any.
Just crickets in the chat.
Yeah. To be honest, like who's watching this stream right now? It's me, it's Krishna, and maybe Sid.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Sup, Sid?
Yeah,
You alive?
Uh, sorry, what's that?
Chat you live. Anybody
No,
in
not
chat?
anymore.
No,
We'll give it 5 minutes, if not.
I think we just got lurkers. Well, we can just talk amongst ourselves a bit, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, those all our picks. Parasite being common between me and Krishna. Tim
So to know what
and
between me and Krishna.
Tim and I, we didn't really have any common films amongst the three of us, did we? Which I am actually a bit
Well,
surprised about.
I imagine some of like I know I had some of you movies you picked on my like short list that I didn't include. So I assume it must be the same for you guys.
Maybe.
Maybe that's just how it works, I guess. Because there's a lot of movies out there. So
There are a lot of movies. Yeah, Tim, I wasn't surprised by your stars, but so I guess since we've like finished over, I can tell you guys what my other pick might have been, like before the honorable mention.
Yeah, that's right.
It would have been Star Wars Episode 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty understandable. Same reasons as Tim, really.
The best Star Wars movie, and Star Wars is pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I was like, because Men in Black was one that I would have put up. Was another one, but like Star Wars. I'm doing a thumbs up right now. Yeah, Star Wars.
I think there is like a really strong argument for either A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back. I think because A New Hope is like the original, and it's still really really good. I remember being blown away by that when I first saw it. But
Yeah, but I guess I'm surprised. So Tim and Krishna had Social Network in common.
Yeah.
Me and Krishna had Parasite in common. Me and Tim had nothing in common.
Oh man.
Yeah. And me and Krishna
no,
just had
that's
Parasite.
good because then we get a lot of discussion and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just a little surprised. I thought that'd be Tim and I would have something in common. Yeah. But no.
We almost did. You
Yeah.
put Star Wars down.
I knew I would have one thing with Krishna, and it turned out to be Parasite, which is like, yeah. And yeah, but me and
Christian,
Tim
I was surprised you didn't feature more Zack Snyder. I guess that's because we were memeing on you the whole time before.
Yeah, I didn't want this to turn into like you guys bashing me for liking Zack Snyder's movies.
Well, I can tell you, like, my guesses for you were, I was like, oh, it's gonna be Justice League Snyder Cut, Interstellar, Inception, 300, Tron Legacy, and Dark Knight.
300, really? Why would I? Okay. I mean, it's a good film, but I don't think I've mentioned 300 quite so often.
I don't know. It's a Zack Snyder film with shirtless men. I don't know.
No,
Ooh,
I said
okay.
the one I suggested was Watchmen. Which
Oh yeah, Watchmen too. I really
yeah.
thought you would have gone for Watchmen after Tim brought
I
it
really
up.
thought Watchmen was going to be on there. I was like, that was really surprising to me when
That's
you
a good one. I do talk about it a lot, and I like it.
mentioned
I know other people
Oh,
don't like it, but I do.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
So I'm surprised you didn't put it up.
I like the intro to Watchmen. The way they did it to
Yeah.
Fucking-
They put that song. It's called
the times they are changing, isn't it?
No,
I
no,
missed
that's yeah, that's one. That's during the funeral. But there's one in the very, very beginning when the comedian is sitting on the sofa and someone comes to kill him,
Yeah.
and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Unforgettable" by what's his name? Natalie, not Natalie. Her dad.
How ironic the song is called Unforgettable. We can't remember the name. The artist.
I mean, I don't know about the rest of the movie.
No, let me look this up. Just hold on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh, Nat King Cole. Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
Yeah, that song was great. Beautiful, beautiful song.
Yeah, done. Well,
Also, another Zack Snyder film I should mention If
Yeah.
you
Oh
guys
my
wanna
god,
listen to me about
how
it,
we getting into this? We literally said, like,
with a good score,
we literally
is
started this
Sucker
conversation by
Punch.
saying, we literally started this conversation by saying, oh, at least we didn't have to discuss the all
I'm
Zack
sorry.
Krishna film.
I'm
And I was like,
sorry.
you know what? Let's discuss
Okay.
Zack Snyder for another 20 minutes. No, man. Literally, haven't 5 minutes passed yet.
Does he?
Alright.
Does Snyder have something coming out on Netflix?
Yes, Army of the Dead.
He does, yeah.
His
Army
zombie
of the
movie.
Dead.
Oh yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's
I'm
yeah,
gonna
pretty
that's
watch
out,
it.
right.
actually.
I'll check it out.
Considering
Uh,
so
Seems to have
okay, I
mixed
think like
reviews.
zombie culture is like
mm.
zombie culture died in death. You know?
Sid, do you have any movies to recommend, or like, what is your
Yeah.
top movie? Yeah, since you're in the chat alive again.
Yeah, you recommended Scary Movie before.
No, he didn't recommend
I
that.
think
He's-
that was a recommendation.
Oh.
we were talking about
Okay,
disaster
right.
movies, or parody
Okay,
movies,
right.
I should say. Not my top movie, but Ford v Ferrari is a good movie. But something we haven't mentioned yet. Something we haven't
Yeah, if you
mentioned.
can.
Yeah, we've talked about Ford v
Yeah.
Ferrari, man. It was on Tim's list.
Hey, so let's make a list of movies we have to watch while we
I
wait.
keep
So,
telling you, yo, it's good.
Apocalypse Now, Gravity,
Kung
Grand
Pao.
Budapest Hotel, Rush,
Oh,
and
oh! I forgot
Kung Pao.
about Enter the
Oh yeah,
Fist.
Kung Pao is great.
Enter the Fist is so good.
Is it a comedy?
Yeah, God tier movie. That's right. Oh my god, how could I?
Oh, okay.
I would have put that.
Wrong is a joke.
I would have put that on my list if I remember that. Actually, I don't know where I would have put it in. Probably as my honorable mention, but god damn, that movie is so good.
Or is it we purposely trained him wrong?
Is it good in a bad way? Because it looks like,
No, it's. I would
or
say
is
it's
it good in a good way?
I'd say it's good in a good way.
Okay, good. So it's not like The Room, right? Where you can
No,
watch
no.
and laugh. Okay.
Nah,
Good, yeah. I'll check it out.
It knows what it's doing. Let's just say.
Cool.
I can still remember the noise that like the female character made. Cracking every time.
Dude, I love it. God, I can't believe I forgot about that. It's so good. Thanks for that, Sid. Completely forgot. So this guy had the rights for a Chinese action film and then CG'd himself into the movie and dubbed it with funny lines. Kung Pao, yeah. Enter the Fist and Kung Pao, that, yeah. And also, what was it? It also reminded me of another movie that I should have, what's it called? Something.
Oh god, you remember the cow?
There's another
Kung Pao.
movie that he just reminded me of as well, which I would have definitely put up for sure. What was it? Oh, yes.
Let's see. You guys remember the cow? Oh my god.
Guys.
The what now?
The cow. I know what you're talking
Wait.
Oh, Kung Fu Hustle.
Kung
I gotta see this.
Fu Hustle.
Yeah, put it up on the screen.
Kung
Let's
Fu
all
Hustle
see
is
it.
hilarious.
Okay, I'm gonna put this up on the screen. Okay, wait. Window catch.
If you can.
I'm putting. Alright. So this film here, Kung Fu Hustle. I'm gonna mute it for.
I think I
copyright
haven't watched this
issues.
in years.
I love this movie. It's so good. Well, let's keep it zoomed out. But yeah, this film is so good.
It's not playing audio right now.
Yeah, no, I muted it just in case. I don't know what copyright shit.
Right, yeah, good call.
Yeah, but if anyone who hasn't watched Kung Fu Hustle, definitely watch Kung Fu Hustle. This, I think, would have been actually my top honorable mention if I remembered it. And then Kung Pao, and then Star
Yeah.
Wars.
And by the way, Sid, we did discuss those Christopher Nolan films in the beginning. Tenet, Interstellar, and Inception.
The fucking cow. Oh my god.
Alright, I think
I haven't seen this.
you should watch you should watch it.
Okay, okay.
It's so
Is it
good.
a bit like? Do I have to?
I think you
is it
should
on
find it
Netflix or somewhere?
I don't know where it is. We'll figure it out
Of
later.
course, we will not. We do not support piracy on this. Obviously,
Who
Yeah,
considered
yeah. We
Everything
gotta,
you
we
guys
gotta
should
say
find.
that. Out loud.
everything you guys should find, you should find it legally and through the proper channels. Yes.
Yes, of course, of course.
Yeah, I'll search back, but
Oh boy.
yeah,
You guys remember those piracy stealing is against you wouldn't download a car. You guys remember those ads they used to play?
say that again.
You know the anti-piracy ads they used to play? You wouldn't download a
You
car.
wouldn't download a car. I'm sorry, I don't
what is
care
that
if
about?
it's illegal, but if I could download a car, I would.
No, Krishna, if you don't know, they used to play these really stupid ads before before the movie started.
Anti-piracy.
It's like it used to be like stealing is a crime, like piracy is a crime, all that kind of stuff. It's like you wouldn't steal it. It's like you wouldn't steal a car. It's like the same as you wouldn't download a movie illegally. So that's how it used to go.
Yeah, but
Oh,
It's like,
right.
I think someone edited
Where is
they
it?
just like meme the hell out of it. I don't know if they still play them anymore. They used to
No,
like play them in front of DVDs and stuff.
Yeah, in theaters before movies. Yeah, what's it say?
Right.
But they just kind of like meme the hell out of it. So people are like, you wouldn't download a
You
car.
wouldn't download a car. So good.
Oh, Tropic Thunder. Really good. Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
You know, I didn't know
yeah.
Tom Cruise was in that.
Yeah, I just watched Tropic Thunder, like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. It was good. I liked it.
Oh yeah, What Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That was a really good one too.
Oh, yeah, it's really good as well. Jack Nicholson, isn't it?
Jack Nicholson.
That's Stanley Kubrick, right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah,
Probably. Wait.
sounds like might be.
Director Milos Forman. Produced by Saul
Okay, never
Zaentz
mind.
and Michael Douglas.
No, sorry, you're thinking of Clockwork Orange. It's a different-
Oh yeah, Clockwork Orange is a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
one too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a very good one, yeah.
super
Traumatizing.
violent though, so
There you
it
go.
plus yeah. Oh yeah, we discussed Blade Runner. Blade Runner is
Yeah.
sick.
Blade
All
Runner,
right.
yeah.
um,
Okay then. So I think we've had a lot to talk about, a lot of movies that
yeah.
each of us have to watch. Well, yeah.
Mostly you.
Mostly.
you.
Krishna has to watch Airplane. I have to watch Gravity, all of Blade Runner, and Apocalypse Now. Tim has to watch
Have you not seen the
Rush.
first one either? What?
I've seen the first one. I've seen the first one.
Okay then. You just watched the second one then.
Yeah, it's the second one I
If
missed.
you like the first one, you will like the second one. It's not like you'll hate the second one.
I don't think I'll hate it. I'm not saying I think I'll like it. Yeah, and Tim, you have to watch Rush. That's about it. Hey,
Okay.
alright then. Star Wars Episode 1, the classic, yes. Episode 2, even better. I hate the sand. It's coarse. You get. Alright, anyway, before we drag out this conversation any longer, we should start ending the podcast here. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Sid, for joining, who stayed here till the end. Joined midway somewhere. We started at 9, lost 2 as soon as I started talking. So we dropped to 7. But we had a consistent 5 to 6, which is really cool. That's never happened before. And we gained 2 followers. Shout out Parker from Parker and Ed and Motor Junkie. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking us out when you were here. Yeah, probably. But no, it's okay. I like engagement.
Yes.
If you mute it on Twitch, it doesn't count you as a viewer.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Because
Still learning about this platform.
So we might have lurkers who just don't listen to us, huh?
Yeah. Come on, guys. Come on. We would like some more comments.
I mean, to be fair, I have it like right now, but I haven't muted. So
Okay, well that's good then, I guess.
yeah, just I want to follow along to see it as it actually is.
Yeah,
But,
that's fine. I mean, you're on.
Anyway,
You're on
if you
here.
miss any of the parts that you were interested in, check us out on YouTube. The
oh,
videos
yeah, we'll
will be
probably
up
upload this. Yeah.
2 more viewers. What?
Oh yeah, we just gained a couple just at the end there. Hello.
Oh, did we?
Stream's
Me
ending
too.
now. But thank you for coming for
Sorry,
1 minute.
Sid, I haven't set any of that up yet. I'll figure it out how to link our socials with the exclamation stuff. This is only the second episode of our podcast, okay? Calm down. I only figured out.
figuring it out.
I only just figured out how to put follower alerts. Again, thank you, Kimmy. Shout out. But yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about what we're planning next? Because I think we're vaguely discussing that we're going to do a podcast around Summer Games Fest, which is in a couple weeks.
Yes, that is in the
Um,
talks.
So that we're still talking about that. Not totally sure that we're going to do it yet, but if we do,
since we
we'll
all
post it.
have our personal schedules to also get to, we'll see how we can get that together. Oh, now I see the 5 years.
but we want to do it.
Yeah.
So
Hello to the 2 new people who came into our stream and are watching. We're just gonna end now. Thanks.
Hope you
Hi.
liked our discussion.
Hi and bye.
yeah, we'll also be doing that animated movies. I think that's probably definite.
Yes, like we said before, throughout the show, throughout the podcast, for anyone wondering why we didn't have animated movies on our list, is because we will have as a separate episode later in the future.
Tell you what, once we come up with the schedule that works, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, we might not do a podcast for at least 2 weeks due to some personal scheduling issues, but you'll still probably see me play Mass Effect, so stick around to Twitch, please.
Well, play is a bit of a loose term.
You'll
Just
see,
run around and die. It's mostly running around and dying for 5 hours.
you'll see me fail
Yeah,
in
you
Mass
guys are into
Effect.
that.
Right. But big Overwatch news, Overwatch 2 will be 5v5 instead of 6v6. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they're taking out a tank, which is really annoying.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you guys for joining. Check us out on YouTube for the full VOD. Follow us on Instagram for updates and future. We do a lot of our announcements there, as well as on Twitter. All social medias I just mentioned, except YouTube, we are SavePointEXE. YouTube, we are just SavePoint with a space in the middle, 2 words. Yeah. Thank you again, guys. And we'll see you in a couple weeks'
we see
time. Probably. Summer Games
All right.
Fest. Hopefully. We'll let you guys know.
Yep.
Stay on our socials, please. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye.